Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this with the overlay. So much less of an offset than what we had before. So okay, get the new alpha channel. We'll go in with, from the get-go, the overlay brush instead of hitting it up with the levels. Set the block to the front, set the mode on the brush to overlay. So we now get brush, overlay, black. Whoops. But I can't do that just yet because this isn't a pure black, so it's going to be darkening like everything. And that's actually not what I want. So let's do two things. Subtract out. I'm going to take the marquee tool here. Just want to concentrate on the nose. We don't worry about the chin too much. Control-Shift-I. And boom, Alt-Delete, Control-D. And you know what? Let's do this. Don't Control-D, Control-I. Don't Control-D, Control... come on. Let go. All right. Do it one more time. Marquee. Control-Shift-I to invert the selection. Alt-Delete to fill the foreground. Control-Shift-I to invert back. So it's just the perfect square. Control-I to invert. Boom. Got it. Amazing. Way to go. Whoops. Way to go, us. Control-D to deselect. Zoom. All right. So now, Control-L, and we'll be careful with this. So careful with this. Because we don't see how it's expanding out. That's what got us last time. We're going to pull in first. Okay. We're going to do Control-L again. And this time I'm pulling in, getting the blacks in instead of the whites out. Keeping track of the nosy. Okay, great. And so now I'm going to go back to the brush. Got to overlay, black. Notice I can just fill that in. And notice it's trashing everything in there because this gray is so dark. It's past the 50% mark. It's only the grays that are above the 50% mark that are not being darkened by the overlay brush. So I'm going to set this to normal for just a minute. Just going to do a little bit of cleanup. It's surprising sometimes, isn't it, where it looks like something will be pretty straightforward, even using tools that you've already have a mastery of, and occasionally a curveball will be sent your way. All right, we get the brush. Still get it normal. I'm just going to do a little more cleanup. So real quick, do we already have the chin? If we already have the chin, yeah, we do. So I don't even have to worry about that chunk. So that's going to be great. So take the brush. Whoops, the black. And I'm just going to bring that in. So I don't have to worry about any of that because we already worked with it. Ooh, although, yeah, looks like it might be a little rough over in there. And we'll know why if that's the case. All right. So here's the bit we got to concentrate on. So let's go back to this. I want all of this brightened up. Now it's time to do the overlay trick. So got to flip this. Boom. Going to take the brush. A boom. I'm going to set it to white. A boom. I'm going to set it from normal to overlay. Boom. All right. We can brighten this stuff up. And look at that. We can start getting the nose. Great, much better. And there's a cool trick too. If I bring down the hardness, it will let me fade that in, which will be nice and soft in all the right ways. All right. Oh, look at that. So that's really the secret for the level when I was saying like, watch out for the crunchiness, blah, 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 all that stuff. So there we go. Fill that with black, because again, it's just this area we need to concentrate on. So I do a brush, set it to normal, set the hardness to 100. Just going to quickly fill in this chunk here. Okay, so I got the little nosy nose. Oh, look how much better that is. Well, I guess that last video was a bit of a misstep. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, go ahead and set this to overlay. Again. Let's darken it in a little bit. Push it in. Great. Same over here. Push it in. Great. Okay, we get the nose. Okay. So with the hard brush, we're getting the crunchy bits again. If I lowered the hardness first, we can, whoops, first we can leave it a little bit cleaner. All right, good. All right, so we got a nose. Good for us. Great. So now we can do the attachment process. And again, there are a couple ways to do that. Oh, look at that. We got the nose right away. Yay. Yay. Looks great. We can use the standard attachment process of the image calculations, set one to the fur outline with horns, set the other one to, oh, we forgot to name it nose this time. So set it to alpha 1, set it to 0 offset, add, make a new channel, tell it okay. Okay, and then we've got the nose. Great. So I'm just going to go ahead and name this fur, horns, and nose, and voila, we've got the next bit. So let's see, what is left here? I think that just leaves this area, this part of the body. I should name this nose while I'm in here. Hit save. I don't want to lose it. All right, so how's this look? Well, let's turn on the eyeball there. Scroll all the way up to RGB, turn on the eyeball there. All right. Oh, that looks much better. We still have a little bits and pieces at the lip, which can easily be taken care of. In fact, I think I could just use a very small quick select to kind of come in. Yeah, look at that. And then I could select select it that way. There's another way we could probably do this, which is color range. And so with color range, we could do select color range. And then you simply tell it that the sampled colors that you're clicking on should be selected. And so depending on the, I believe this is controlled once again by the Magic Wand Tool's tolerance level. So if we make like tolerance something ridiculous on Magic Wand, oh nope, I'm mistaken about that. I am simply on the wrong layer. I'm on the wrong layer. So I'm selecting black and white and it's not doing anything. I need to be over here. Boom. Now, there we go. It may still be controlled by the Magic Wand Tool. It's been a while since I've looked that up. Select color range. You got this little green spot. Just click on that green spot. We'll get it. I will go ahead and add to sample. I'll keep getting green. You guys remember this? So the idea is pretty straightforward. It's where I'm clicking on the screen, it's taking a color sample. If I have the standard eyedropper here, it will take that color, and I want to say it's controlled by the Magic Wand Tool's tolerance, and then it will load it in, and when I tell it OK, it will have selected all of that color. See how it cuts in? If I were to go in this select color range and use the plus, I could keep adding colors in it until eventually everything is selected. So it's a quick way of going in. So what I'm going to do is just select the green. And then I'm going to get the color adder. I'm going to add in the colors. Good. Tell it OK. And notice how that beautifully that cut in around these messy bits. So I'm going to go in on my fur, horns, and nose layer. I'm just going to take the brush with black. I'm going to mask that in. I'm in overlay, so it's not doing much. I set it to normal. Try to remember, don't be like me. Go ahead and set it back to normal before you leave the brush. All right, and go ahead and paint out those colors. There we go. And where else are they? Let's go ahead and use the color range to select the ear, shall we? So let me turn off the mask here. Let's get back to this layer. I think we can do this okay. We have a lot of mask already worked off of. We're just kind of assembling a little bit at a time. So this is a good time to do select color range. And I'm going to click inside the cow. Whoops, not quite there. Control Z will let me do one step back. Okay. Let's miss the ear a little bit. Let's go ahead and try. We'll put my hypothesis to the test. Magic Wand Tool tolerance. We'll just make this like 5. We'll do the select color range. Notice it's still got this loaded in. So we still got it loaded in. Do the plus. Oh, sure enough. Yeah, it is controlled by the Magic Wand Tool. I was right yet again. Go me. That's a problem, that the Magic Wand Tool controls so much of the selection and it's not by itself. It's covered up by the quick select tool. Man, it's just the way of life, eh? So we can take a look at what it looked like as grayscale, take a look at what it looked like on a black mat, take a look at it on the white mat, see really what we're selecting. Just gonna leave it on the quick mask here. So we're still missing this chunk of the ear. So I'm going to come in very carefully and click. And really the issue is that it picks up some of the colors in here. We can decrease the fuzziness, which is a lot like the feathering of it, so that it will try to interpret. Well, it's not really like the feathering. It's like the edge detection. The higher the fuzziness, the looser it is with edge detection of color. The lower the fuzziness, the harsher it is about it. The colors really have to be more similar across all the channels for it to work. Okay. All right. There is, another way to do it. We'll try that real quick. You can also do the color selection. Here we go. Color selection on a channel. So if we do something like this, duplicate the blue channel, take the levels, and just concentrate on the edge. Just want to show you guys as many techniques as possible. We can also use some of the techniques we did in the earlier videos about an hour ago. I just want to show you as many as we could do. Select color range. Like a boom. Addition. Yeah, Start getting that ear in. So, whoa. All right, tell it okay. Look at that. So we got the ear. Pop over to the fur and horns, get our brush, set the normal, fill in the ear, it looks like I missed a spot. And we've got the hair. See, this is part of the problem though, and you'll encounter this a lot of times. It has to do with how much of the color do you really want brought in. The fur becomes a little more transparent at the edge, so it's picking up the green color of the background. That's also why it's bringing it in. I do like where we're headed with this, but I actually want it a lot tighter, so I'm going to go ahead and just use the magnetic lasso tool. If you guys want to just go in there, and later on I'll show you tools for color correction, like really good tools for color correction. So this won't matter. We'd be able to go in. This mask would be perfect. We'd do a color control adjustment so that it looked more like just the natural fur instead of the background being edited in. But I haven't shown you those tools yet, so I'm kind of shot myself in the foot on a lot of these things. But masking is just so important. Plus, I really want to see where you guys are with Photoshop. So I want you to pull out all the stops on this and just do whatever you're comfortable with, but try to do something pretty cool. The only requirements are the layers and the masks, but you guys have a bunch of tools at your disposal from earlier semesters. So, go for it. Okay. Really show me your stuff. That'll be great. Let me calibrate the class and see what's going on. So I've just faked it, because mostly I know you want to see the end result of all this stuff. So I'm going to show you a really cool trick right here. If we take the smudge tool, that is the stamp tool. I always forget the control for smudge. I think it's O or something. Sponge. No, sponge is O. Smudge. Blur tool. Smudge tool. Really no key command on that. All right. If we take the smudge tool and we make a really soft brush, yeah, that's fine. You can blur things by just pulling and then pulling back. Pulling and pulling back. And that will just add a nice little softness, which is great if you've made a hard fake tone like I just did. You can push it in. Just grab it and you get back. We'll soften stuff up. Okay. All right. That's a pretty good looking ear. What happened here? That should be filled in. Okay. Get that. I hate these flies. Let's smudge this out a little bit. And remember, I'm just on the mask, so I can, color's color. Just smudge that out. There we go. And really what the smudge is doing is it's adding grays in because it's smushing the blacks. Oh, I don't like that. The blacks and the whites together. So if we turn off the RGB, See how it's just adding grays back in? See? Pretty cool, right? All right. Anywhere else that we should soften that up? Probably the little chinny chin chin. So I'm just doing touch-ups at this point. And it bugs me that we don't seem to have a key command for smudge. We could create our own, but oops, we probably don't want to do that right now. Just want to wrap this up. Oop. Let's fill that in. So let's see, what do we have here? So let's make one more video for dealing with the body. I think we're probably just going to use some more smudge tool. Some of this grass is going to be a little funky when it comes in. Oh man, we missed one ear. So let's do the same thing. We'll do another video for the bottom half of the body, and then we'll finally have this part done. And at this point, you guys are probably going, you know, Eric, I think I'm not going to use such complicated, hairy, furry stuff. I think I'm going to go for maybe architecture on this assignment. That's perfectly fine. Tell you what, I will show you some of my favorite assignments that students have turned in doing this one, and you'll see that not a lot of them have hair. They went ahead and did stuff like, you know, fruit and maps and text and cool stuff like that because they didn't want to be working on this till the end of time. They wanted to just kind of get the stuff done, and that's fine. You know, the point is to solve the problems that I present to you using the required tools, and then you're good to go. You know, you don't have to make life more difficult for yourself. Grab the smudge tool again. So here's another cool trick. I got to come in with the lasso selection tool. Just grab this area. Then I'm going to come in with the smudge tool. And now this horn, I don't have to worry about that. So I can paint right up in the top. And we'll just fuzzy this out. Fuzzy that out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Probably fuzzy this. I think we're going to have to massage the body a bit because, like I said earlier on, it's nice and tight, but we have it kind of crunchy. So I'm just gonna smudge it in, smudge it up. There we go. Too much green in there. Smudge it down. Smudge you down. Oh, beautiful. Okay, look how cute he is. So we'll do one more video for the body. Then we're done with this. And finally on to the assembly. I know a lot of you guys are going to skip these masking videos. That's, you know, sometimes you've got time crunches. That's how life is. That's okay. Come back and watch them later in pieces. That's fine too. As long as you can get the assignment done and you're meeting the requirements, then I'll be a happy camper. So we will see you in just a moment here, and we will do the body. We'll be done with this last bit, and then we can assemble this thing. Maybe we'll take the text and we'll do a clipping mask with the text because it's such a cool thing. We'll add a frame using a mask, and then we'll be done with this assignment. All right, but first step first, the rest of this body. See you in a minute.